Hello everyone and welcome to the creation of the 100th Company of Heroes episode from the KrebsCOHO channel. Today what I'm going to be doing for you guys is showing you how I go about actually making episodes for you guys to enjoy. Not only that, it's going to be the 100th episode, so a very special occasion, as I was marking in the last video, a very special time for this channel, reaching 3,000 subscribers and already very much so over that mark. I believe we're something like 10% already of the audience above that. So it's like 3,300. Oh my god, I just can't believe how fast things are going right now. I'm really humbled and honored to be in such a position. But what I'm also going to be doing for you guys is marking this special occasion because it's also the 100th episode. So obviously I want to show you guys a little bit of bonus features, right? So imagine this, if you will, as a DVD. So imagine if you were watching a DVD and you watch the movie and that's all completed. Then you want to actually continue on a little bit. Maybe you'd go on to the special features and you'd have something like the making of this movie or the commentary that goes along with this movie. So think of this episode as sort of like that. The making of the 100th episode. In fact, I've not even made the 100th episode at the time of this video right now, but I'm going to be showing you guys something like maybe the first 5 minutes, some outtakes and stuff like that. Maybe as a teaser. Think of it like that, okay? Like a teaser, right? So what I'll get on with right now is letting you guys know a little bit about KrebsCOHO. Who is KrebsCOHO? It is me, obviously the voice. I'm not only a voice, I'm a human with interests, and I think it's a good idea that I actually let you guys know a little bit about me, since you've been listening to me for all these casts, so many episodes, and maybe you just know me as the guy who does the Company of Heroes cast. Well, I think it might be a good idea to give you guys a little bit of a gist of who I am actually. Alright, so a lot of you probably could guess by now, but I am a university student who is studying pharmacy. I'm currently in my 3rd year of that. So when I started this channel, it was my 2nd. I'm currently in the 3rd year, and I just require 1 more year in terms of actually studying and then going on to working as a pharmacist. A pre-registration first for 1 year and then on to a pharmacist. So my idea, my mind base is, I suppose you could say, somewhat logical and somewhat clinical as well. So I am always on my feet. If people come to me with a problem, I have to deal with it. And then the next person could have a completely different problem. As I was describing to my barber who cut my hair the other day, one day you'll have somebody that comes in with a cold, a flu symptoms, you give them a cough mixture, and then the patient right after that will have a problem down below. And so I am one of these people that think on their feet when it comes to medical care and delivering help in terms of drugs. I enjoy this side of my life, and I am very happy with it. Now, what is this in front of my desktop? You guys probably noticed this by now. Who is this naked man who is showing his ripped abs and stuff like that? Well, this is Arnold Schwarzenegger back in his prime days. Arnold Schwarzenegger. I've actually got this wallpaper here for a very good reason. Now, a little bit of background here. This is Arnold Schwarzenegger. As you guys know, he used to be a bodybuilder, not so much nowadays. Maybe you guys know him better as the Governor, or was the Governor anyway. And so this was him back in his prime days in the 1970s when he was part of the Mr. Olympia. One of the most famous, probably the most famous Mr. Olympian of all time. Now, this is him in front of an audience at one of his competitions, okay? And he is saying... well, he's not actually saying, but this big word, conquer, okay? He was a very egotistical man. Not in a bad way. This is why I love Arnold Schwarzenegger. He did have an ego, but he had it in a good way because he was very set on his goals and accomplishing them, and this is what it exactly is. Conquer. To accomplish your goals, to win a competition through means of hard effort. There's a lot of effort that goes into bodybuilding. Now, I think if you guys might not have guessed by now, I have been into weightlifting for a long time, okay? So weightlifting has been an integral part of my life for probably the last 3 or so years. I obviously maybe haven't mentioned that in my other casts. In fact, you guys are probably learning this for the first time, but I am indeed actually very much so into weightlifting. I've been doing it for about 3 years now, and my goal is mass. My goal is size, okay? So hopefully, you know, maybe one day I could be Arnold Schwarzenegger big, but then again, I don't take steroids, nor will I ever take steroids, so I don't plan on getting that big. The reason I do it is because, first off, I enjoy the feeling of actually lifting weights and achieving goals in the first place. I think this is sort of synonymous with just myself, my own personality. I like to achieve goals, such as through casts, getting a bigger channel base to bring you guys more and more entertaining, higher quality videos. I think it's almost synonymous with my character, and so I think the reaping the benefits of weightlifting is absolutely spectacular. You become stronger, you become good looking, and as well depends depends who you're speaking to. But some girls obviously like muscle, for example, my girlfriend does, and I suppose those are added benefits. So I think that bodybuilding is just something that's definitely part of my life. I'm really, really happy with it. I haven't showed you guys my progress, and I'm not sure if I will. Maybe I will someday, do a pose down for you guys or something like that. But, for now, just think of me as the commentator. Then, in the future, maybe I'll do that on April Fools or something like that, show you guys my progress. But for the meantime, just know me as the voice, okay? The voice who casts Company of Heroes cast for you guys. So I think it's always a good idea to surround yourself in your idols, to surround yourself in what your interests are. For me, obviously weightlifting, and so I have this as my desktop. I'm also surrounded by many other things, such as my weightlifting belts and stuff like that, my gloves, and all the diet that I have to take care of. So, it can apply to anything in life. If you're a musician, you surround yourself by instruments. You surround yourself with these people as well. Surround yourself in musicians. Surround yourself in other weightlifters. That is just by example. I mean, it's always a good idea to always have a goal, a role model in life, and to always bring those forth and surround you in them so that you can actually model yourself in sort of that image and promote yourself. I mean, if that's what you enjoy, then go ahead and do it. Now, let's actually get on to what the whole process of making Company of Heroes is. So that is me. I'm a pharmacist who likes weightlifting, who as a hobby does casts. Now, this is my mailbox. As you guys can see, I'm using Google Chrome. I used to use Firefox. However, whatever reason, that doesn't really work for me that much anymore. I think there's something like errors, and I just got sick of it, so Google Chrome does me fine. Now, this is my inbox. Oh my god, 3,914 in my inbox. I know, guys, this is absolutely insane. So I've got about 3,914 mails I haven't read. They're mostly just from YouTube. But honestly, to be honest with you guys, I mean, I've got so many emails saved up here from a long, long time ago. Actually, let's go to the very last page. Okay, that is from, what month is that? May, June. That's from June. Wow, that is a long time ago. So I've got emails going all the way from back then. Obviously, I haven't read some of those, but trust me, I read almost every single comment that you guys send me. You can just go through all these lists here. You can see all of these comments posted on Skyrim, comment posted on Company of Heroes, and I have read those ones. I read every single comment posted. So whatever message you leave, no matter on whatever video, I read them, okay? I'm very grateful of all the subscribers as well. This is absolutely insane how many subscribers we're getting nowadays. I mean, look at these, just one after the other. Very, very crazy. I think a lot of these are actually from other games, such as Skyrim, for example. That is definitely proven to be very big. And what the nice thing about it is that people are actually joining Company of Heroes from it. So a lot of you might be thinking, like, why would you do these videos of Skyrim and Minecraft? But in a way, I have to do it because Company of Heroes only has a limited size, okay? Only something like, I don't know, 8,000 people play at a time at peak times. And so that is only a limited thing. Obviously, I don't have 8,000 subscribers. I don't have the entire Company of Heroes fan base. However, a good way of actually going about this is to promote other games, get people into this channel, and then once they see the Company of Heroes videos, then they will actually go ahead and join Company of Heroes. Buy it, and there you go. A bigger community, right? A lot of people have actually left me messages. You could probably see one on the channel if you go on the actual channel comments, if you go there right now. Obviously, it's going to be a bit outdated if you watch this video in the future, but, you know, if you go on the channel right now, there's somebody who's talking about how he bought Company of Heroes after watching my videos, and that's just a great example of just these people that watch these videos because they never seen Company of Heroes before, and then they buy it because it looks really fun, and that's what I did. That's how I got into Company of Heroes in 2007, because of videos like this on YouTube where it just looked so damn cool to have an RTS where you had artillery that looked so damn nice and realistic in a way, and you had all these great functions and mechanics that no other RTS previously had. And so I was really excited watching those videos back then. Now let's get on to actually making this episode. So for you guys, this is my inbox. This is just pretty much filled with subscribers and stuff. One day I will empty it, maybe when we get to like 10,000 in my email. I have absolutely no idea, but there you guys go, right? This this is what it looks like so far. This is my inbox. Now, if we go on over to junk, I've obviously got some junk, game replays. I've got some spam, which I have no idea where it came from. Actually, I do have an idea where it might have come from, but I'm not going to insist on what website that was because I'm actually part of that website and I don't want those people to get pissed off. So anyway, so let's go on to the competition part. This is where you guys send me your replays and I keep them in an archive, sort of. So I think maybe what I'll try to do is block the names out here because obviously I don't think people want to see your guys' names. So this is my archive of your replays. Obviously you can tell a lot of these ones still haven't gone through. All the ones that are sort of unhighlighted, maybe you guys can't see that, I'm not sure. The ones that aren't bold are the ones I've already gone through. So I've got plenty that I still need to go through, and you know, a lot of people send me in replays, but to be honest, it does take me quite a while to go through them, just because, well, let's think of it. Initially, when the channel first started, I went through replays right away, and that was it. However, as the rate and pace of just how often these replays were sent in, then it became a little bit more difficult for me because it became more time consuming. So what I actually do now is sort of file them away in archives. I mean, I've got some that I haven't checked since last month, and I'm very sorry for being like that, but I have mentioned in a few other comments and posts on forums and stuff like that it do take a little bit of time to actually get around to doing to looking at your guys' replays. And when I do, it's usually when I need one of your fan replays. So when I feel like doing an episode from a fan cast or a fan replay, then I'll go ahead and check the archives and find out which one would be the best to do. So here we go. I go through every single email. I read every single person's message. So if you go to the first one that I haven't checked, we've got this one that says Brits vs. Axes War Against Points. Okay, that sounds a little bit interesting. The guy says, a battle against Brits and Axes, an epic battle in the middle. Brits win by points. I play as Caution MMX. At the beginning, there's some action at the left and the right. At the middle, there are a war with points. Axes attack the middle. God, the English is a little bit bad, but fair enough. Now, what a big deciding factor for me to actually do a replay is the size. Okay, when I look at this, it's 4 players, so that means 2v2. McGeckin's War, 2.4 megabytes. Okay, 2.4 megabytes is a bit big, so I'm not exactly sure if I'm gonna get that. So let's say, for example, if I just download it, here we go, I'll just download it and I'll show you guys how I go about determining if it's too long. I know from just relative sizes that 2.4 megabytes is a bit big for a 4 person game. That usually means that maybe it'd be a bit of a lengthy game. It'd be, I don't know, maybe 40-50 minutes, something like that. So what I do is I grab the replay, I head on over to KORA, which is Code Replay Analyzer. Okay, this worked better for the last patch. However, it still works quite well for this one. It tells you the times and stuff like that. So if I go to desktop and then I go to finding my game, the replay, and I load it up, and there you guys go. That's what I mean, an hour and 15 minutes. I am not going to do an hour and 15 minutes. I once previously did an hour long video, but to be honest, by the end of that video, my throat was dead. Could you imagine, you know, you guys have to understand this from my perspective. Could you imagine literally speaking nonstop for 1 hour, let alone 1 hour and 15 minutes? Your throat would be dead by the end of it, okay? Even though I take drinks of water, that's still not enough because your voice box needs moisturization, it needs rest, and to be constantly putting it under such strain, which is talking, you guys will maybe not believe it or not, you might believe it or not, but talking actually puts your throat in strain, okay? You're producing something under effort. Okay, so obviously, unfortunately, sorry about that, but I cannot do that one because it is too long. So maybe this is going to give you guys an idea of what cast I accept and which one I don't. So let's go back on over to the Company of Heroes cast here. One obvious one I wouldn't do, for example, if we look down here, it says 3v3 Shelt replay. Okay, I would never do the Shelt because a lot of people don't know what the Shelt is and how obviously non-expert the Shelt is. I mean, a lot of experts have to obviously admittedly agree that there is no balance on the Shelt. There is nothing exciting. It's the same game game after game. So I can understand that if you're playing the game for fun and you want to play, against newbies and stuff like that, then go ahead, play the Sheld. But for my purposes of trying to entertain every single audience, not only the newbies, but also the intermediates and the more expert players, I need to go for a replay that is more geared towards an expert skill level. If I go for the Sheld, then I immediately cancel out the intermediate and the expert players. Obviously, newbies would enjoy it, but then I immediately cancel out like a half of my audience. So that's not really something that I should do. If I go for an expert replay, everyone enjoys it. Obviously, I've done a newbie episode before, and, that came with mixed reactions. It sort of did show that, I did cancel out half of my audience because of it. But, maybe once in a while, I told you guys in that one newbie replay that I wouldn't do it every Sunday, for example, but I would do it once in a while where I would do a newbie replay, and maybe I will do it again. However, just when the time is right, when I actually feel like doing it. So here we go. Hey, Jordan here. Love your replays. Been watching them since KOHO. God, I miss KOHO. Haha, I know I miss it as well. Anyway, played a very unique game the other day. 2 versus 1, US and Brit. Germans were quickly put on the back foot. Okay, so hopefully that won't spoil it. So this one looks a little bit smaller. Okay, so we've got 4 players Mageddon War. Now notice how this one's only 1.7 megabytes or so big. So if we go ahead and download that, and we go ahead and download that, it's just about finished. So okay, now move it on over to desktop, and we go back to KOHO Replay Analyzer. We open that up, we go to desktop, and we find it yet again. Mageddon's War, and this one's 50 minutes long. Okay, that is borderline. Okay, maybe I would keep that in the back of my head. 50 minutes is a little bit long. Ideally, what I want to go for something maybe 30-40 minutes maximum, just to keep your guys' attention span there, but also my throat, as I keep on stressing. So I'll keep that in the back of my head. Obviously, you still got 27 emails to go through. Obviously, I'm not going to show you guys every single email that I go through, but what I'll do is probably cut it out and eventually show you guys which one I pick. But let's take a look at another one. So we've got one from this guy called Abraham. And this is a very epic game with Goliaths and big blobs. Please don't miss the Goliath at minute 31. Oh god, that's already spoiling all the excitement for you guys. So what I'm gonna do is actually cut on over to what I actually pick. Okay, I'll cut on over to the game that I pick. So here we go, guys. Alright, now what I've got here is just a bunch of candidates that I've chosen that should be that I need to take a closer look in order to determine which I should actually cast. Now, as you guys can see over here in the browser, I've actually narrowed it down quite a bit. I've gone through a lot of your guys' messages, but not all of them. What I've done is actually a bit of a cutoff. So I'm going to leave it off here where this replay is, this email, and continue on from a future date, because I've already got 13 or so chosen right there that I need to go through, though. So you guys can already start to see how long it might take for me to narrow down a particular replay. So what we'll actually do is head on over to Company of Heroes in just a second. Now, the thing that I commonly notice with some of these replays, the ones that I particularly don't choose are ones, well, where, let's start off, for example, they don't include the attachment at all. So they forget to attach the replay altogether in the email. So that's one big deciding factor. Obviously, I can't download the replay, so there you guys go. Also, another big thing is when you don't leave a message at all. So sometimes people will send me a attached replay, but then they'll have zero message. It'll just be a blank, and that gives me no idea whatsoever what the game is like. So obviously I don't consider those, because then it'd just be a waste of time for me having to go through it, and so it just doesn't give me any idea of what the game is actually like. Another thing that I usually try to help me narrow down is usually I do expert games. So unfortunately I don't do the Sheld, for example. Lower level games, some people send me like level 3 games, and unfortunately maybe I would do those in a future episode when it includes newbies, for example, if I do a newbie episode. However, I don't commonly do them. I usually do expert ones just to maintain the entertainment amongst all audiences on the channel. So that's why I enjoy doing it, and those are the ones that I try to pick out. So I've got 13 candidates right here that I need to choose from, so I'm going to switch on over to Fraps in just a second and start recording in Company of Heroes. Okay, now that we're in Company of Heroes, now we actually got to go to the replay and watch them. Just prior to that, let's see, let's go to multiplayer, and let's go to, well, we could go to game history. That's all the 13 or so games right there. Maybe I'll go over to the chat and just say hi to everyone in game replays. Hello! Hello, everyone. And I'll do a wee smiley just to be a bit cheeky right there. Let's see, that's what I usually do. So say if I go on to, say if I start up Company of Heroes, I just do that and go on to the chat, and then I go to maybe like my friends list, and 0 people online. What? There's usually a lot more people online. And, you know, you guys can add me in game. Obviously, I've got 81 people on my friends list right now. That is a lot of people, and that is just all of you fans who've been adding me through the game. I mean, a lot of people do that, and sometimes I get in games with you guys, so feel free to absolutely go ahead and do that. Add me on Company of Heroes, and maybe if I do have time, I'll go get a game in with you guys. I do occasionally do it. So, there you guys go. Wee tip for you guys, right? News bar, I'm actually doing this in the morning. There's 3,000 people online, so this is definitely not peak time. So if we were to go maybe, I don't know, Saturday night, for example, there'd probably be like 8,000 people online easily. So let's go on over to game history, and let's actually select a video. So I'm actually really looking forward to one particular video. It's a 8 player game, 4v4 on Monter's region. There it is. So let's actually go ahead and load this up. Hopefully, it's not going to cut out, because obviously it's going to be loading. Hopefully it's not going to cut out on Fraps, but this is meant to be a clan game of some sort, it looks like. So let's load that up. So I obviously have no idea how this game is going to turn out. I have never seen it before, and, you know, it also depends on what the description of the game was like in the email. So right now I have actually no idea whatsoever. So what I'll do is turn off the fog of war, and I'll start speeding it up to probably 8 times just to start pacing right through it. So hopefully this isn't going to spoil you guys what this video is going to be like. If it is going to spoil it, if this is the one that I'm going to actually do a cast on, what I'll do is cut it out somewhere around here and show you guys the actual video so it doesn't spoil it. But unfortunately, that Materas region cast was probably not something that I would fit into my criteria of what I should do a cast on. It was actually a bit too long, somewhere around the 1 hour region. Also, it was a bit slow paced. I was watching about the first 20 minutes or so. I was a bit slow paced, like, you know, people sort of just waiting to get their guys up to full health and then attacking, and it was sort of going in waves. So it wasn't really that exciting. It's sort of something that would lose your attention span if you were to watch. It's something like just a normal game, like your everyday game that maybe you guys would play. And so unfortunately, I won't be doing that one. Kind of unfortunate, because I was really looking forward to a brand new map and an 8 player map actually. As the 100th episode, but that's okay. I mean, there's still plenty of exciting episodes to go through. So I've still got like this one, for example, to try and go through to sift if it's a good option or not. So back up to 8 times and see what's happening. So what I'll do now is actually, well, I'm going to cut this out in just a second. What I'm going to do is show you guys the replay that I have chosen and actually just cast the first few minutes of it. So it'll be like a teaser for you guys. I'll cast the first few minutes of it, and then I'll just maybe say a thank you or something like at the end, and then I'll show you guys the actual replay in a separate video. So here we go. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another episode from the KrebsCOHO channel. Today we're going to be doing a 2 vs 2 on Wufhees, featuring a bunch of very comical players taking each other on. So this is going to be a very special episode because it is the 100th episode from the Company of Heroes series on this channel. Woohoo! We reached it at last! A milestone has been reached, one of hopefully many milestones. So, as I was saying, today is going to be quite a comical match for you guys to enjoy. It's on Wufhees, as I keep on stressing. I know a few of you guys like to say that I pronounce it as Wolf Feces, but not quite. I'm not trying to say wolf feces. It's a Wufhees, or in the Dutch, proper Dutch pronunciation, it's Wufhees. So today we're going to be looking at a game on Wufhees. And now, who we're going to be looking at today? Well, we've got a mix-up today. I believe a complete vanilla and also complete opposing fronts matchup, actually. So we've got one Brit going by the name of L'Estandarte, the very comical L'Estandarte. Everyone loves this guy's replays because they're actually very funny. Maybe you guys are asking me, how the hell is Company of Heroes funny? Well, trust me, by his style of play and just how things turn out, it is actually quite comical. His partner in crime today is going to be Charger Reloaded as the American, so there you go, opposing fronts and Vanilla. Their enemies are going to be the Wehrmacht and PE, again, opposing fronts and Vanilla. Down south, which is going to be Miss Please Don't Do This as the Wehrmacht, okay, Miss Please Don't Do This, okay, and Love PE Panzer Elite, so they must definitely love their Panzer Elite as the PE, surprisingly. So, today is going to be on Wuffies. Now, let's get this game started. We're at the 5-second mark. We're going to be starting in 3 seconds. So, in 3, 2, 1, and let's begin. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And on we go to another very exciting matchup in the Company of Heroes battlefield. So welcome to all of you guys who are watching this today. I have been, this is actually the full cast episode. What you might have watched was possibly the teaser just previously to this. Where you guys got to see a little bit of this replay. How exciting indeed, eh? Just got to be teased of how excellent this replay was going to be, but yeah, anyway, so onto the actual replay at hand. So obviously the 100th episode today, and very big thank you to all of you for making this possible. I'm humbled and honored and all that great stuff for you all being part of this channel. Obviously trying to deliver the highest quality replays I possibly can for all of you. So what we've got today is these people taking each other on. So right from the get-go we have is a Schimwagen from the PE. Very unusual choice for a Schimwagen. Obviously it has different criteria than the Kettenkrad. Obviously it uses different abilities depending on the doctrine that you choose. I mean, for like example, spotting, marks spot. Okay, now after all the recording is done, so everything is done, the cast is done and all that and all the pieces are together, what I have to do is put it into a program such as Adobe Premiere, for example, the one that I use to make my casts, and I put it into a format sort of like this. So this is the video that you're watching right now, just as it was being pieced together. So weird, isn't it? So paradoxical. The video you're watching right now is being pieced together, and these are all the pieces. And so this is what a typical cast would sort of look like, right? So if we took a closer look, I mean, these are the pieces that I've put together, and so on and so forth, right? So what I'm going to finish off with this cast, or this wee teaser for you guys today, is my humble appreciation. Thank you for being part of this channel, and I hope to many more great milestones we'll have in the future, to many more episodes on this channel, right? To finish off, what I'm going to do is just a quick wee video for you guys to enjoy. So let's head on over to it, and here we go. Just one big firework to exemplify the first birthday of this channel. Oh. 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 Yay! Woohoo! Happy birthday! See you all later, guys. Bye-bye.